It's time for Sleep Detectives.
Do-do-do-do, do-do.
Du-du-du-du. This is our second episode each week where we answer your baby sleep questions, your real life thoughts at 2 a.m., 5 a.m. We've all been there. We're going to give you our voice of reason and give you a little bit of context as to why we would do what we say we would do.
Yep.
How are you, Bec, by the way?
I'm good. I was just going to tell the listeners that we try and do this fast, but inevitably.
Oh, look, I'm already off topic. I'm like, hi, let's chat.
We try and do it fast, but it doesn't often end up that way. But you can see how our brains tick when we do, when we think about the sleep and how we try and get it all better. Let's try
this
fast.
This week I've been doing some lives across TikTok, YouTube and Instagram. And initially I was like, I'll probably last 10 minutes. Like, I don't have much to say. 2 hours and 20 minutes later, I'm like,
you've been on fire.
Turns out there are lots of questions and lots of things to say. Yeah. So on that note, let's get started. We're going to start with a newborn sleep question because we don't do a lot of those. We often do a lot of older baby questions. This mother asks, I've got a 4-week-old, sleeps 5 to 6 hour stretches. Should I be worried?
Oh, I guess it depends on if that's during the day or overnight. So
it was overnight.
Oh, overnight. No.
Yeah. I think if you're ever worried, of course, if a baby was difficult to rouse or really lethargic, definitely check in with your pediatrician or GP or even your maternal child health nurse. You'll usually know they will have given you sort of the green light based on wake checks as well to say, no, you don't need to be waking them every 2 or 3 hours. But if everything's above board, that's great. Let them snooze.
Yeah, and you're not working on supply. I guess in those first couple of weeks, I personally did would have only been 2 weeks, like if I'm really honest. Every 3 hours I would feed overnight, and that was just to get a really good supply, and then I pulled the pin on that, and then it was just when they woke, overnight, but as long as they'd done a good stretch, of 3 hours or more. So so if they're doing those good ones through the day, it's a great sign that you're getting great calories in through the day. So really happy with that. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fantastic. And congratulations.
Yes.
Cute little newborn.
Amazing.
Yes, speaking of, and here we go. We're already behind schedule. Yesterday I had a consult with a mother who actually has a really easy sleeper, but she had some early rising crop up, so we were just troubleshooting and doing some nap changes. And but she said that she was so convinced from everyone and everything that when she had a baby that she would be so sleep deprived, they would be up all night, that she'd never sleep again, essentially. And that never happened for her. She had this really easy sleeper from the day she brought this baby home. And it also very much goes hand in hand with his temperament now that she knows him as an older baby.
Yeah.
But to the point where she took him to the GP to say something must be wrong because he slept 12 hours at 8 weeks. And he was chunky, thriving, feeding, doing all the things, just really great at sleep. And they were like, what are you doing here? This is fine. Your baby's fine. Enjoy. But she had just been so convinced of the other narrative. And there are definitely easy sleepers out there. So you never know. This newborn
there's
might
plenty
be.
of them.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Do I stick to a wake window before bedtime for a 9-month-old?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I think maybe if I'm reading between the lines, maybe is it, do I just always aim for the set clock-based bedtime of, let's say, 7 p.m.? 7 p.m., no matter what the nap looked like, no matter what the wake window is? I think that might be what this question is asking. Or do we use a wake window to get to bedtime?
Oh, this is such a good question. I've kind of got I've got 2 answers for this. My first one is, if we're working on sleep and sleep is an issue, then yes, we are definitely working on wake windows. Because I just want to, the reason why we're doing that is I just want everyone's confidence levels to be tickety-boo in terms of there is enough sleep pressure, so they're not undertired nor they're overtired to
Mm,
go down and use a self-settling technique and for them to fall asleep readily and easily. The difference changes though when, say, we've got maybe it's a slightly older baby and we have had a funny day and instead of waking at 3 p.m. and having a 7 p.m. bedtime, maybe they've woken at 3:15 or 3:20.
mm,
Me personally, I would still put if sleep was all hunky dory, I would actually
mm,
still keep my same bedtime routine. I would put baby down at 7 o'clock and then just sort of,
okay.
if they take 20 minutes off to go off to sleep, then that's what happens. Because typically most little ones, you're also working on the internal clock. So even though the sleep pressure hasn't quite aligned with the internal clock, um, they still recognize bedtime because they still
Mm,
are thinking it's 7 o'clock. I usually go off to
everything's
bed here.
signaling to them.
Yeah.
Mm,
And you're still doing your same bedtime sequence in the same fashion without sort of missing a beat. It's just that they're probably going to be more wakeful when you put them down and take a little bit longer to go off to sleep. So if you're okay with
mm.
that, then that's where my answer changes. And then it's sort of like, then we just use
Yeah,
it
you
for
just go
bedtime.
with your yeah. I think if you are nap training as well, and commonly when we nap train, naps do not go to plan, and you may be
Mm.
ending up with a shorter nap, then what we would then say is maybe we would use the wake window from when they actually woke up, and yes, bedtime may come a little bit earlier, but it's all part of the plan and it's kind of short-lived.
Yes.
Does that make
That's
sense as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if it's just as you were saying, like, oh, random day, nap a little bit shorter, maybe it's negligible, I'd mostly just, yeah, go with the bedtime.
Mm.
That may have left listeners with more questions than answers after I chimed in
Mm.
there.
I know
Did I
we
just
might have
make
to
that
listen to this
complex?
back. No, no, no. We may
I
have to
think
listen
because
to it
we
back.
work with tricky, like we work with, we're working with tricky sleepers that are fixing a problem.
Well, I
Uh,
think that people are like asking the question will understand. It's for those people who are not necessarily experiencing this particular issue
that,
that's
yes.
where it becomes a little like, oh, that was hard to compute. But, you know,
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
you can just skip the 15 seconds.
Yeah, double speed. Um, okay, here we go. 16-month-old, wake 6 a.m., nap 11:30 till 2, must wake, as in they wake baby from at 2 o'clock, bed 7:30, keep or change. I think I would be sliding. So I want to know how long you've been on that nap for, and I'm going to assume you haven't got overnight wake, like things aren't messy overnight. I think that nap is probably now a bit too early, and also probably going to, you don't want 6 a.m. to slide into the fives, because an early nap at this age can reinforce or create a bit of an early rise. So I would in fact slide this nap uh, every couple of days in 15-minute increments until your nap is locked in at 12:30 till 3 even. Beck, I know you love to have
Will
a
do.
12:30 till 3. I'll even take a 12:30 till 2:30 and a
Yeah.
7 PM bed, because I
Mhm.
think what you're going to end up with is that it may be working now, great, but you've got a pretty big wake window from 2 till 7:30, and you've got your 6 a.m.s, which, as I said before, can slip into the 5. So let's move it, slide it to a really age appropriate 12:30. It becomes well established for the lunch. Then you've got plenty of time for lunch solids and time for dinner, time to play and get it locked in there, just so things don't backslide.
I agree. I just feel like there's it might be teetering on the edge of about to fall apart. I think
Yes.
with a schedule
Yeah.
like that, like it's
Yeah.
working for now, it's working for now, but then it's going to something will trigger
Yeah.
and typically what that will be is the nap finishing slightly earlier, but parents still keeping the 7:30 bedtime,
Yeah. Yeah. So
so
it's a 1:40
yeah,
finish and
yeah.
still sitting there. And then we've stretched and stretched and stretched, and then, yeah,
Mm.
it starts to
I'm a bit
snowball.
of a stickler. So even at this age, I'm still more of a 4 hour wake window. I know you jumped to 4.5,
Mm.
which is fine. I try and I float between 4 and 4.5, depending on how great a sleeper the toddler
Yeah,
is
it depends on that, yeah.
and the day. So to have a 5.5 hour wake window, I think is just pushing the friendship just a little bit too much.
Mm.
Also, the idea. Oh God, I'm going to go into. Oh no,
Go
here we
for
go.
it.
She's going to.
Let her rip.
Your 18-month regression is about to hit.
Mhm.
And so you just want to make sure that you've dotted all your I's, crossed all your T's in terms of getting your scheduling absolutely tickety-boo before you go into trying to define bedtime with your 18-month regression.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that would be a big catalyst for changing that routine up just slightly.
Yep, agreed. Okay, 5-month-old used to self-settle, now plays in the cot at night despite schedule tweaks. Help. I think you and I probably both the same that if it's just hanging out, playing, there's nothing to do, nothing to be done, nothing to fix. I think whenever these moments crop up, this is where you do your little checklist inside your head. Audit your schedule. Okay, great. It's not because of overtiredness and not because of undertiredness. Are my feeds in place? Are they full? Have we got salt? Is this a calorie thing? A hungry baby's not going to just play, though. They're going to be a
Yeah.
bit more vocal about it. So we could rule that one out probably pretty quickly. Environment, is it now really broad daylight because of daylight savings, depending on where you live? And that's encouraging them to stay awake for little bit longer. But if they're happy, leave them. I save any kind of assistance, intervention, technique, sleep training, whatever you want to call it, for when a baby is escalated.
Mm. Yeah, same. If they're low grade, if they're just chilling, even if they're mildly protesting and have,
Yeah, yeah,
anything that is like, if it's low grade, we're leaving it. We're not even going in to give a
no,
little like absolutely nothing. They get left to it,
yep,
mainly because this is their opportunity to start working on that layering that goes into falling asleep. So
mhm,
they have to be 100% awake when they go into the cot to learn then how to move through feeling sleepy, feeling drowsy, conking out.
yep.
And if they're moving through that layering system and you pop your head in just to give a really nice encouraging,
Like,
you
"You got
oh,
this.
no, no,
Shh.
darling,
Love you."
their head is going to snap round and go, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. I'm supposed to be needing all your help. Come back,
yeah,
come and feed me, come and rock me, come and pat me, do all the things. You're my favorite person.
yeah,
I want more milkies, like all the things.
yeah,
So you just
yeah,
want to leave them to it because either one of two things is going to happen. A, they're going to fall asleep and do it all independently. And sure, they might take 20 minutes before they do it, but they've done it. Or
mm,
B, they are going to escalate, in which case, yeah, go in, help them. But
yeah, do your thing.
chilling is fine. Just
Yeah,
leave them to
and
it.
that would also apply for whether it's at 1 a.m., 5 a.m.,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
11 p.m. We are lovingly ignoring
Yeah.
all of
Take
that.
pause.
And I think one other thing is they used to self-settle, so they can absolutely do it. Let them flex that muscle. They have to learn they don't have to do anything, but they need an opportunity to practice self-settling in different scenarios because no day and environment is going to be exactly the same day in,
Mm,
day out. We are going to have it where you've had to race through bedtime and
mm.
you've missed the window a little bit and they're a bit overtired. Okay, they get to practice. I can use this skill when I'm feeling like this. Some days you might have even just had enough, being like, I need a break and maybe a glass of wine. Nap 3 ran a little bit over time, but I know that baby is safe and I'm going to pop them in and they can play and work through it from an almost a smidge undertired.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is difference. They've got a bit of a sniffly nose, but not so sick that they can't sleep independently. There are multiple different scenarios where they need to flex that self-settling muscle.
Mm,
And the other thing is that we always want to encourage that they are safe to play and have a little protest and roll around and figure out how to get comfy. They can process the day, because then it then transfers way down the track to toddlers and older children. We want them to know, I get to hang out. I can think
Mm,
about the day. I can think about what I had in my
yeah.
lunchbox and how I don't want mum to pack that again tomorrow, or the friend that they played with, or we just want to give them that time. They're allowed to do whatever they want in that time. It's up to
Yeah,
them.
the cot is a really nice, safe, secure space for them. It's their own
Mm,
little world. And the feeling that I get when I lay down into my bed and just that whole
mm,
my body relaxes. I
it's my
am
favorite
so
place.
keen for sleep. It would absolutely be exactly the same for your little one. Like once you've established that really independent feeling of I can take myself off to sleep anytime I like,
Yeah.
that feeling of relief when it is nap time. And, when, you start to see little ones, like they start walking towards or crawling towards their room because they're like, I just want to go off to, like they take
Mm,
themselves almost
mm,
to bed because they're just so ready for it. And that's that
yeah.
beautiful feeling of incorporating cot time into the falling asleep
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if you think about it, when we do hop in, we don't fall asleep straight away. Like, even
Mm,
if it feels like it, we're so tired, it feels like we've just passed out. We still move through those layers, or we do think, we do process, we do wind
mm,
down, we roll over, we pull the doona up. And so the same, we want to encourage that as well.
I agree.
That's normal. Okay. 8-month-old sleeps through, but nap one at 9:30 is only 5 minutes and she's happy. What do I do? I think that if on 8 months, if on 3 naps, that's fine, because usually we're asking for a 45-minute nap in the morning on a 3 nap schedule. But 35 minutes and maybe
Oh,
took 10 minutes to fall
35.
asleep. Oh, yeah, what
Oh,
did you
I
think
thought
I said?
5 minutes. And
Oh,
then
you must have been
and
like, "Sally, what are you
Silly.
doing?" And I'm like,
And I'm
"That's
like,
fine."
I'm waiting for you to, like, go the clink, like, the
What the
clincher is.
where's
I
the
was like,
light
"Why
bulb
is 5
moment?
minutes okay?" Why?
No, no, 5
Yeah.
minutes I count as a long blink. That is not asleep.
Yeah, 35 minutes
Um,
is totally fine. I wouldn't even
yeah, though it
30
it
to
all just comes
45
out in the
minutes.
wash.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Um, on 2 naps, we would usually be aiming for an hour and a half, 9:30 to 11 for this 8-month-old, so maybe we need to do some nap training. Don't maybe there's more to it to set the stage for success. Equally, sometimes a natural pattern will come out for a baby that they do better with a bit of a short long, in which case you end up asking for 45 minutes in the morning, and again, that 35, it probably comes out in the wash, plus they're sleeping through.
Mm,
I think it's really important to know that small nap variances are normal, in the sense that you're aiming for a 9:30 till 10:15 nap and baby wakes at 10 or 10:05 or 10:10.
oh, yeah.
Beck and I do not bat an eyelid at that. That's a nap.
Yeah, we're not sweating it at all,
Nope.
at all.
Nope, nope, nope.
So
Um, and I do appreciate that sometimes when you've been so diligent and working so hard on sleep, I often get logs that are down to the minute,
mhm,
10:02, fed
yep,
at 11:06 for 22 minutes, all of this.
mhm,
You can take the pressure off yourself. It's
mhm,
okay. We're just aiming for roughly these nap lengths.
mm.
Would you add anything?
Uh No, I mean, there's one idea would be to just sort of look at the solids and just sort of see if there's anything that needs to be tweaked there. So,
Mm,
obviously, baby sleeping through. If you had to move to a 2 nap schedule and you're sort of like, oh gosh, 9:30, just looking at when the timing of solids, what is being offered and how much, and then if there's anything that you can add in to support a longer nap
mm.
potentially, that would
So
just be
then
a
can we
holistic.
flesh that out further for this questioner?
Hmm.
That's not a word.
Hmm.
8-month-old doing, if you were aiming for 9:30 to 11, which I'm assuming
Hmm.
you'll do with a 7 a.m. up and full milk feed, where are you placing your breakfast solids?
So this is a 2 nap schedule.
This is on a 2 naps. Yeah, let's assume that. She doesn't actually say, but let's use that as an example. Should we do it for
Uh,
both?
yeah. So, well, it does change. So if you're on
It
I'm just
does
going to take
change,
it back.
yes.
So if it's a 3 nap schedule, then we're on 4 milk feeds. So breakfast
Mhm.
is a tight 7:30. So
Yes.
milk feed at 7, tight 7:30 breakfast because we want enough gap between the breakfast and the appetite to be created for the 11 o'clock milk feed. So it's not
Yes.
impacted.
Yeah, because if you
However,
then do breakfast at 8:30, come
yeah.
11, I might take a
Mm.
snack. Thanks, mum.
But when you drop to the 2 nap schedule, the 11 o'clock milk feed disappears. And then so we are looking to really bump solids up at breakfast because we have got a bigger gap that we need to start
Mm,
filling up. So at that age, I would do breakfast at around 8 o'clock and I would really
mm,
fuel the tank at that point.
mm.
Um, so some families aren't giving breakfast at 8 months. They haven't really thought about it. But if you have a little one that is sleeping through, a baby sleeping through at that
Mm.
age, definitely looking at solids at that time in the morning, and then just making sure that you're adequately fueling them for the nap.
Yes, just in case that short nap is because they're not hungry.
Mm.
Because if you think about nap 2, they will have had milk
Mm.
and big lunch.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. Oh, this question, this is a big one. 12-month-old fed to sleep for all naps, bedtime and overnight. How do we wean?
Oh,
It's it's both simple and big. And the reason it's for me it's big is because I just have lots to say and
yeah,
like
yeah.
and lots of support and suggestions, but fundamentally it comes down to anchoring in your milk feed times at age appropriate times. So at 12 months we're going to do it different to a 5-month-old baby on 4 milk feeds. Working to spaced feeding, whether it's
Hmm.
breast or bottle, and then using any other kind of assistance for naps, bedtime, and overnight wakings that aren't a feed, and just stick with that for a couple of days. Just
Hmm.
shift away from feeding to sleep and use something else that then we can wean. So rocking, patting, bouncing, pram. Beck, you love a pram nap.
Mm,
Bouncing on the Fitball, in the carrier, drive. You just have to shift the association.
mm. So you're doing a sideways step, really. So you're
Yes.
moving into assisted sleep, but removing the prop. So teaching baby or toddler that there are other ways to fall asleep aside from feeding, because feeding is the hardest one to like. Feed to sleep is the hardest
Mm,
prop to break, and then co-sleeping is a big second, if
mm,
not in. When you've got both of them combined, it's really difficult. It's not
mm.
difficult from our perspective to do it because we've got a
Oh, no,
really
it's all
clear
possible.
strategies. It's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
possible. It's just hard because a lot of families are doing it as a reactive way. Like, this is the only way my baby will fall asleep if I feed to sleep or I'm laying with them in bed and so forth. And so it's just become a way of life for a really long time. And because we're on autopilot, it feels really hard to do something in another way. And it may have
Mm,
been months and months and months since you've actually tried to do it differently and it hasn't
mm,
worked. So there's a lot of confidence building that has to go into trying to move forward in a different way and doing it in a staggered approach. I find, like just as you described, is so much more manageable for families wanting to move away from the feed and co-sleeping scenario
mm.
because it feels manageable and supported. Like baby
Yeah.
is supported, and there's lots of tools around to do it. So essentially, yes, you are anchoring your feeds differently, so that you know that your baby is absolutely getting enough calories. So you can have the confidence then to keep bouncing on that Fitball to get them off to sleep, or
Mm,
keep pounding the pavement with the pram to get them down for the nap in the dark space. It's just about doing it and
and
following
doing it for a
through.
few days too,
And
not
yeah, and
just
knowing
once
that
and
it's
then saying it doesn't work.
yeah, 100%. Like it's repetition, repetition,
Mm.
repetition, repetition, and finding new ways. So it's going to look a little bit
Messy?
funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not, they're just, as you said, feeding to sleep, it's such a strong sleep association. But not only that, I think feeding to sleep and co-sleeping, it can be almost emotional for parents as well because of the proximity and almost it's the reliance on it as
Mm,
well, that this is what where it feels really intimidating to take away these two really heavy-handed
mm,
associations. So it can feel almost emotional for parents to make that
yeah.
change, particularly when it feels like it's providing so much comfort. And
Mm,
then the idea of, am I taking that away from my baby? The sideways step means that we are not just saying, okay, well, we're not feeding you to sleep. So in you go into the cot and good luck with that. Off you go. No, no, it's
mm,
not that at all. You can still be with them. You can, I mean, you may even still, I mean, co-sleeping's not in this question, but you could still be lying down with them and holding the dummy in their mouth. I've done that with a family just recently. It's just not the feeding to sleep.
mm. Yeah.
And you are at the helm of this, and your consistent, calm guidance is what means that that baby on the next day will be like, "Oh, yeah, that wasn't so bad yesterday. I was totally discombobulated, had no idea what was happening. But look,
Yeah.
we're doing the same thing again
Mhm.
today. Do you know what? I really am tired at this time. Plus, I've got a full tummy from those anchored feeds.
Yep.
I will drift off. I won't do a full nap yet,
Yeah.
but I'll do better than I did yesterday." And you just keep going. I think the other thing that really needs to be taken into consideration in this particular question is also the 12-month factor.
Mhm.
Compared to we're doing it at 5 months or 6 months, that
Yep.
baby at 12 months is a different baby, can stand up as very ritualized, can pull at your chest, pull down your top, you know, lead
Mm.
you to the bottle, you know,
Yeah.
maybe even say the words. And so it can have also a different emotional play on you if
Mm.
they're asking for the bottle for a breastfeed. And they've also got stamina,
Oh, yeah.
which is tricky.
Oh, they
So you
definitely
need to
do.
have more stamina than the 12-month old because you know they need that sleep.
Well,
And
that's a given. That is a given, and that's the hard part is the following through and finding that inner strength to keep going even
yep,
though
the
that
resolve.
yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it doesn't like it's everything's hard. Like, everything is hard. Like, it's that whole choose your hard. And so for a
Mm,
lot of parents who are coming to us because they're, wanting to move away from the feed to sleep association or the co-sleeping, it's become hard. It's become unsustainable. It's become tricky. It's challenging. Maybe baby has to go off to daycare or childcare or somebody else is looking for a multitude of reasons, it is no longer working, and
mm,
that's hard. And then
mm.
the idea of changing it is hard. And the idea of following through is even harder. So it's everything is hard, but if you're wanting to get to the other side of it, it's about having that really good solid plan, following through, and accepting that it's going to be hard in that moment, but it's not going to be hard forever because the new pattern emerges, skill set develops and strengthens, and then all of a sudden you realize that you're on the other side of it, and actually, oh, it wasn't
We
maybe as
did it.
hard as I thought it was, and
Yeah.
here we are, and we're enjoying it, and it's different, but everyone is thriving, and
Mm,
everyone is okay. Everyone is
yep.
okay.
And I think that's the beauty of working with a sleep consultant like one of us that have done it for so long is that we
Mm,
don't bat an eyelid. We know you're going to feel what you're going to
mm,
feel, but we have seen the other side of it time and time again, week after week,
mm,
that we know that this will work. And so
mhm.
you can borrow our backbone
Yeah. Oh, that's a
and
nice
trust the
backbone for
process.
hire.
Backbone for hire. We'll get that on a cap next. But that's our job. Is sometimes it's less about the baby, and it's a lot about supporting and coaching the parent through making
Yeah.
these changes. That can
Yeah,
feel
there's a lot of
intimidating.
hand-holding. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Okay. Oh, this one doesn't have an age, but we can talk about it nonetheless. Is 10 hours overnight normal? She does 7 till 5 with a 1.5 to 2 hour nap. So I'm going to assume 14, 13, 14, 14 months onwards
Okay. Yeah, that's a good
if we're
assumption.
going with a one nap. We bang on about this all the time.
Mm.
every baby, and I see it in the comment section on everything, my baby's a 10 to 10.5 hour max. Nothing I ever do will change that. And so the answer, I guess, to is it normal? Absolutely. Is it normal?
Mm,
Lots of babies, it's very normal for babies to wake up at 5 a.m.
mhm,
In fact, incredibly normal. We will always aim for 11 to 12 hours. And that
yeah.
means a baby doesn't have to sleep until 12, as in 12 hours on the dot. If they do 11 hours, 5 minutes, woo, win. With little delay. Uh, but I have never ended a package with a baby with, with a wake up in the fives, with a 10-hour, 10.5 hour night.
I'm gonna throw a few sleep consultants under the bus here, not,
Oh, okay. Savage.
only yeah, it does sound savage. There are a lot of sleep consultants who will run with it's totally fine to have a 10.5 hour night simply because they just don't work on early rising. It's just not their
Mm,
jam. They maybe don't have the backbone that you and I do in terms of
mm,
facing it head on and wanting a little bit more. Um, and so those are the you'll hear from or you'll see on those sleep consultant pages and social media and so forth. It's totally fine. 10.5 hours is totally fine. If it's working, it's totally fine.
mm,
Whatever. We actually don't mind. However, if you're going if you're getting lots of issues through the day and overnight,
mm,
it is absolutely something that we should be working on.
mm.
I don't balk at the fact that sure, like 10.5 hours and 2 hour nap through the day and everything's tickety boo, but you can absolutely get more.
Yes. And I think you're right. A lot of people are afraid of sleep training out an early rise, if we call it what it is. It involves sleep training because the more hands on you are, usually the less productive it is, particularly if we are right in assuming that this baby is over the age of 14 months.
Yeah, we do it because we're future proofing you. So, God, I'm going to blah 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 blah. I think that there is a lot of, "Oh, we'll just take it." Like, we'll just take it and that'll be fine. And, like, absolutely, if you've worked on sleep and you've got a little one that is now sleeping all the way through till 5 o'clock in the morning, that's gonna feel like an absolute lotto win. If you've
Mm,
been waking up multiple times, like, absolutely 5 o'clock, geez, that's so bloody good.
mm,
However, let's future-proof you so that when
mm.
daylight savings hits, your 5 doesn't become 4. And
Ugh, yep.
you know what I mean? And just like
Yeah.
when you've got a baby or like not a baby, but when you've got a toddler or a preschooler or a kindy child, that they're not waking at 5 o'clock wanting to start their really big day, and you're starting at 5 and you're going off to, you know what I mean? Like let's future proof everyone by at least giving it a whirl to try and get a
Mm,
little bit extra in, and not being afraid to try.
yes. Yeah, what if? And I think the thing is I think we also want parents to recognize 5 a.m. as an overnight waking in this
Mm,
scenario and to treat it as such. And for some reason, I think it's just the the awkwardness of the hour being so close to wake up time
mm,
for adults, but so many families can treat 11 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. as an overnight waking and treat it as such. But at 5 a.m., for some reason, many families throw in the towel.
yeah.
And it could also be that, yes, it's a horrible time as parents to resettle, but also if 5 a.m. has been going on for a long, 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 long time for your baby, older baby, toddler, whoever, there's every chance that baby does not go back to sleep, in which case you are potentially looking down the barrel of resettling of a wide awake baby from 5 till 7 a.m.
Mm,
Yes, that
mm,
has to be done because you cannot fix 5 a.m. if you don't if you get them up.
mm,
And so you have to do the hard work there and signal to their brain, remembering the things that are signaling to their brain that it's time to get up are food, light, and socialization as three of the three main signals. We have to delay all of that until 7 so
mm,
that you retrain, just like jet lag, just like with any time change, schedule shift, whatever it is. Oh, hang on, it's still dark until 7. Ooh, maybe my brain will think about continuing to pump some melatonin. Oh, hang on, I
Mm.
don't get up and play. Okay, there's nothing really worth waking up for. And oh, look, I got that huge big feed at 7. I
Mhm.
didn't get it at 5. Okay, I'll wait.
Mhm.
And the calories redistribute, the sleep pressure redistributes, the brain picks up on the new pattern.
Mm.
And that's what the early rising protocol,
Mhm.
Beck, that you've named, is that's what this is. And I think, there is also Beck and I were chatting about this
Mm.
off air at the beginning of the week or last week about, the sort of the average sleep totals that come out, and that they often show that some sit at 10 and 10 and a half. And I asked the question, how many of those have people tried to get more sleep from through a sleep training perspective? And I'm not entirely sure. I'd be very
Mm.
curious. Like if they gave, we could do a nap trapped project. If they gave us all of those
Oh,
10 to
yeah.
10 and a halfers and we put them on the early rising protocol, how many could
Yeah.
we actually get to sit closer to 11 to 12?
Well, I just really, I really back us with our early rise protocol. I really
Yeah.
back our process, the reasons behind why we do it, how everything restructures in through the day. Like
Mm,
it is a full it's a full project to actually work
mm,
on the early rise. And so you're either in or you're out.
yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
there is a halfway dip your toe in to resolving early rise. Me
Mm,
personally, I feel like no one wants to do it. It is hard
no,
work,
no one
but
wants to
you're
do it.
either all in and we get it done and we do it within a week, 10 days,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. But we're fully committed because we don't want to do it again. You know what I mean?
No, we don't
Dipping
want
your
to do it
toe
again, and we
in.
don't want to start our day at 5.
No, that's right.
And
Also,
yeah.
I just to say that, and so a lot of questions do come through though, actually, when we talk about 7 o'clock being the up time.
Mm,
Um, 7 o'clock is not actually when we want our babies and toddlers to sleep until. Like, we are not
mm,
forcing a toddler or baby to sleep all from 7 p.m. all the way through till 7 a.m. That's actually
yeah.
not the goal. The goal is to move the internal clock to somewhere between 11 and 12 hours. And what I think, let me throw an age out there. So 8
Mhm,
months old. What I
mm,
think is really realistic is your little one going to bed around 7 o'clock, and then they're waking around that 6:15, 6:20, something like
mm.
that
I
time
see a lot
frame.
of 6:20s. Yep.
6:20 is like about the average. So that's 11 hours, 20 minutes, right? But the key to getting them to sleep from, move their clock from 5:30 to 6:20 is holding it steady at 7 o'clock.
Mm,
Because if you get your little one up at 6:20, the fragile time frame then just switches from 5 o'clock to 5:20. Like, they'll start becoming more
mm,
fragile in an hour in advance and wait for you to come and get them. So
mm,
it is the idea is that we hold steady on 7 until you have a really predictable wake of around 6:20ish, something like that, roughly.
mm,
And then we hold steady, we hold steady, we hold steady. We really work on that. And then you can absolutely become a little bit more flexible with getting them up. We still want the delay of when they wake up, they don't automatically get up to start the day. But your
mm.
delay doesn't have to look exactly until 7 if you've really
No,
got a
no, no,
really
no.
well established, night.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it all changes.
Yes, and it does work, and I know that it's hard. It's even hard for me as a sleep consultant, because it takes time, and that's the hard part too, because
Mm.
so many other baby sleep things we can often see pretty quick results and quick fixes,
Mhm.
within the space of a few nights sometimes, maybe
Yeah.
even one night, a week.
Yeah.
Early rising can be really stubborn, and
Mhm.
you do have to have stamina. And I, even as the sleep consultant fixing it, I will message Beck to say, "Tell me I'm not missing anything, and that I can't just keep going." And
Yeah.
Beck will say, "Hold steady, give it
Mm.
time." And I now tell families that I sound like, so my father's a surgeon, and growing up historically, he just fobbed off every ailment that we had as children. I've seen worse, like, I don't care about, and so he had these 3 things that he would always say if we had an ailment, which was have a banana, go to bed, and read a book, thinking, okay, well, you're either hungry, you can have a banana, that'll fix it. You're bored, go and read a book. You're tired, go to bed. Or you're a combination of all 3, and one of those will do the trick, or all
Yeah.
of them. And then he had this other one, which always was give it time. But Dad, I've still got a sore throat. Give it time.
Mm.
Oh, but my eye's still twitching. Give it time. The Panadol hasn't kicked in. Give it time. And now, at the ripe age of 36, I have become my father, because I will say to early rising families every morning when I get that almost, and my stomach will drop too alongside them.
Mhm.
It was still 5:15. It was
Mm.
5:16.
Mhm.
5:20. Give it time.
Yeah.
You have to. It is, as you said, you are in it. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. We are fixing all these other things alongside it. Give it time. And
Yeah,
that's really hard.
because it is, it's really hard. It's the 5:15, 5:15, 5:16, 5:14. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's the 5:36 and you're like, "Oh my god, so good."
Yeah.
5:36,
Which for us as the
5:37.
sleep consultants, we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, I could breathe." But maybe for
Yeah.
the family, it's still like, "Well, we're still in the 5s." Well, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
That's a big milestone.
Yeah. And then it's 5:59 and then it's 6 and then it all starts falling into place. Because also for a lot of families, there is no other option.
Mm.
Sometimes you've really actually got to adopt, and maybe that is my personality type, is that I am a little bit black and white with things. So, and I would have mentioned this, like I didn't know any other way. Like I had a book
Mm.
that I used and like what the book said. So like I didn't realize you could feed to sleep. I literally
Yeah.
didn't really realize that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't in the book, so it just never really happened.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you could reset, like it, and and the book said 7 o'clock uptime.
Ignorance
So
was
I was
definitely
like,
bliss
well,
in
we
this
just get up
in
at
this
7.
scenario.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So I'm not saying that you have to follow a book as such, but I think understanding the why behind why we're doing it is so
Mm.
important, because it, if I read that book now, I'd be like, but it's just numbers. It's just numbers. Like,
Mm.
but the understanding of the reason why we're working until 7 is because A, B, and C. Then we're doing the
Mm.
nap at 9:30. That's going to sort of,
Mm.
and everything
Mm.
falls into place and makes a whole lot of sense, and the wheels
Mm.
start turning. And then the cogs move together and then we're all starting to sort of see a shift. So it is having the belief in what you're doing is actually going to make a difference. And then it is the whole give it time scenario.
Yeah, Dr.
Geez, I
Woods.
really hope this lady who asked the question has not just
Probably not even
become a
listening.
skeleton.
She's gone back to sleep.
She's
That's
waiting
the
in
early
that park
rising
with them.
protocol. Just be bored by us at 5 a.m.
Maybe to get the babies to sleep, they just put our podcast on
Yeah.
and then
Well,
like, oh,
maybe we
our
should just
dulcet tones. Early rising, you've got to do A, B, and C.
nothing to wake up for. Go back to sleep.
I've seen worse, as your
Yeah.
dad would say.
Go to bed. Have a banana.
Have a banana.
Read a book, 8-month-old. Yeah, really practical tips there. Thanks, Dad. I think we need to do an episode purely on the early rising protocol. Step by step, this is what you are going to do. We definitely dabbled in it, well, more than dabbled on our 2-part early rising series, but I think we clearly have a lot to say on it, and people
Yeah.
may not have made it to this part of this episode, but it's very much a point of difference of how we work. Will not sugarcoat the experience. There is no point, because then you will not see it through.
Mm,
And there is so much rationale behind it.
mm. I am working on a early rise downloadable guide for when my new
Fantastic.
website is
Oh, yes, I
rebirthed.
saw your photos. They're beautiful.
Now, I do think that, we are talking about doing these lives, like Nap Trap lives, where
Mhm.
we're going to answer the questions live.
Yep.
Maybe we do one specifically on an early rise. If you've got early rise questions, and you can
Yeah.
chime in, and,
Maybe
and we
we
can do
even
that.
do a nap trapped masterclass on early rising,
Oh,
and
that's a great idea.
you can choose to sign up to continue to listen to us and watch us,
Oh my God. Yeah.
because it honestly is the thing that comes up time and time again. It is everyone's bugbear. It's a horrible time of the morning. You see so much conflicting advice, and we're here to say we do not subscribe to starting your day at 5 a.m. unless you want to.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Very good. Yeah.
Great. All right. On that note, we'll leave you to go and do whatever else you want to do and forget about us. And we'll workshop some sort of early rising
Mm,
masterclass, seminar, whatever you want to call
sounds
it,
good.
one of our lives. And yes, we are working on scheduling a time where we can go live as Nap Trapped, because I've been doing them on my platforms and it's so much fun. And it's doing all of what we are just doing here, but you get
Mm.
to meet us. We get to find out a little bit more information. And yeah, it's just really fun. So, on that
Oh,
note,
can't wait for that.
can't wait for that. We'll see you later. Thanks,
See you
everyone.
later,
This was Sleep
team.
Detectives.
See you
Bye.
guys. Bye.